ultimately, and our only focus is trying to find Madeleine.
It's the missing person case that gripped the entire world. In 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann disappeared during a family vacation in Portugal. Accusations of involvement, questionable investigation tactics, and a complete media circus followed. But Madeleine, to this day, has not been found. Now, nearly 20 years later, the family is being thrust into the spotlight again. In 2022, the McCann family, parents Kate and Jerry, and twin siblings Amelie and Sean, began receiving social media messages from a woman claiming to be Madeleine. Julia Wandelt, a 24-year-old Polish national, was arrested along with a 61-year-old woman named Karen Sprague in February 2025 and charged with stalking. Their trial began in October. In 2024, Wandelt was interviewed for the BBC's Why Do You Hate Me? And explained that she first suspected she had been kidnapped when she was 20. She quickly became convinced that she was Madeleine, and in 2023, she posted on Instagram claiming to be the missing girl. Wandelt's following grew, which is how she met Sprague, and the two set about trying to prove Wandelt's believed identity.
Many people don't believe me, but I feel in heart, I feel 100% that I'm hurt.
During the first days of the trial, the McCann family testified to the extent of Wandelt's harassment. Amelie described some of the messages she received, which included faked photos of her and Wandelt as children. She said, "She had clearly edited the pictures to make me look more like her, which was quite disturbing. I knew I didn't look like that. I knew it had been changed." In December 2024, according to prosecutors, Wandelt and Sprague showed up at the McCann's home and confronted Kate with a letter and a demand for a DNA test. According to Kate, "She called me Mum. I think she was asking for a DNA test. Why won't you do a DNA test?" and pleading with me. When I realized who it was, I felt quite distressed. The calls and messages continued, with Kate testifying that she received more than 60 calls from Wandelt in one day. Prosecutors have also noted that Wandelt is nearly 2 years older than Madeleine would be, and that her DNA was found to be Polish with some Lithuanian and Romanian heritage, which would make it impossible for her to be Madeleine. Wandelt is also accused of having previously claimed to be 2 other separate missing children in the past. While this experience has clearly been traumatic for the McCanns, the family has worked hard to move forward with their lives following Madeleine's disappearance. 4 years after Madeleine went missing, Kate McCann released a memoir, Madeleine, Our Daughter's Disappearance and the Continuing Search for Her. In it, she details the struggles the family went through, not only during the investigation itself, when she and Jerry were suspected by police of being involved in their daughter's disappearance, but also after Portuguese police closed the case in 2008. When that happened, the McCanns were forced to take over the investigation themselves, which Kate said they had to do by, quote, courting the media.
It was an incredibly difficult period, and the main reason for that was because of the negative effect it was having on the search for Madeleine.
Kate also became overprotective of Amelie and Sean. Having been a general practitioner prior to Madeleine's disappearance, she made the decision to quit her job so that she could keep the twins from having to be put in daycare. She writes in depth about the emotional turmoil she went through, specifically when it came to enjoyment of everyday activities. She felt guilt over things like going for a run or reading a book. The entire ordeal put a strain on her and Jerry's marriage. Kate said that the pair stopped being intimate because she couldn't move past the fear that Madeleine had been taken by a child abuser. She wrote, "I worried about Jerry and me. I worried that if I didn't get our sex life on track, our whole relationship would break down." The couple did make it through. Eventually, they remain married to this day. Kate originally quit practicing medicine in 2007, not only to take care of Amelie and Sean, but also to focus her time and energy on Madeleine's case.
I think the public care about Madeleine, and that's why it's still a story, for want of a better word.
Nearly 15 years later, in 2021, she made the decision to return to the profession amid the COVID-19 pandemic and was, quote, doing her little bit to help in Leicester hospitals, according to a source close to the family. They told The Sun, "Kate's back working as a doctor. She's helping out at her local hospitals now and not doing any surgery work. She's thrown herself back into a full-time job to assist others in need. There's such a demand for qualified medics during these unprecedented times." According to The Standard, Kate now works with people who suffer from dementia. Outside of medicine, Kate is also an ambassador for the charity Missing People. In 2014, she helped back the revamped child rescue alert system in the UK, which sends out alerts to people when a child is abducted or in danger. She told The Sun that she wished there had been a system like that in place when Madeleine had gone missing, saying, "If enough people had been mobilized and galvanized early, then who knows what the outcome would have been." Like Kate, Jerry McCann is a physician, and he remains in the medical field today. He's a cardiologist by trade and currently works for the University of Leicester as an NIHR research professor in experimental medicine and professor of cardiac imaging. He worked as an NHS consultant for 6 years until 2011, when he transitioned into research. According to his university bio, he specializes in the investigation and treatment of heart disease. He's also listed as the cardiovascular theme lead for the agency's Biomedical Research Center. The center's work focuses on both genetic testing and imaging to better predict instances of cardiovascular disease throughout the UK. From there, they work to create personalized plans for treatment. Jerry is also involved in charity work. In 2013, he participated in the Virgin Active London Olympic Distance Triathlon on behalf of missing people. He said at the time, "It was incredibly hard, especially the bike, but taking part in the triathlon was an amazing and emotional experience. What kept me going is the thought of being able to help the charity Missing People support other families living with the very different pain of having a missing loved one." In spite of Kate and Jerry's continued efforts to keep attention on Madeleine's case, they've worked just as hard to allow Amelie and Sean the chance to grow up in as normal an environment as possible. Jerry said at one point, "I'm certainly more protective than I was, but you can't mollycoddle them. They have to be independent. What happened to us is incredibly rare."
We've owed it to the twins to make sure that their life is as fulfilling as they deserve.
As a result, both Amelie and Sean have managed to avoid the spotlight for most of their lives. Amelie's first public appearance since she was a baby, in fact, was in 2023 at the age of 18. She spoke briefly at a prayer gathering for the 16th anniversary of Madeleine's disappearance, saying simply, "It's nice that everyone is here together, but it's a sad occasion." Amelie is currently a geography student at Durham University and an intern at Sport England. According to a source who spoke with the Daily Mail, she's described as both popular and outgoing. She's also reportedly taken after her parents a bit. She has a history of competing in cross-country and triathlon events. Sean is also a student currently working on a chemical engineering degree at Loughborough University. He too is athletic, extremely so. He's a champion freestyle swimmer who's been training since he was a child. In 2023, Sean shared with the Joe Humphreys Memorial Trust that he got into competitive sports when he was 8 years old and became serious about swimming shortly thereafter. He explained that he was chosen for one of Leicestershire's performance swimming clubs at age 10 and said, "I have since gone on to win multiple county titles as well as becoming regional and national champion in my age group. In order to have achieved this, I have had to remain extremely dedicated, getting up at 4 a.m. multiple mornings each week to train since the age of 11. That same year, Sean competed with Team Scotland at the Commonwealth Youth Games, where he swam in the 400 and 1500-meter freestyle finals. He's also an open water swimmer, and in 2024, he was snapped with a gold medal at the Best Fest Open Water Swimming Festival. Along with being expected to join Scotland's team for the 2026 Commonwealth Games, Sean also has his sights on competing with Team GB at the 2028 Olympics. In 2025, the twins' great-uncle Brian Kennedy told the Daily Mail, "Kate and Jerry are pleased with their achievements and the fact that they are making their own way in life."
If she's still alive, recognise that who she is, or we need to find the person or people responsible for taking her.
In her memoir, Kate wrote that the family continues to honor Madeleine on her birthday by holding tea parties and wrapping presents, some of which come from people who have been touched by her case. She wrote, "She also has a keepsake box in which the twins leave little things for her, the last sweet in their packet, a new drawing, sometimes just a leaf that has taken their fancy. Everyone sits in there from time to time to feel close to her. The children sometimes borrow toys to play with for a while, but they always return them for Madeleine." The family continues to hold out hope that someday Madeleine will be found. Every year, they post a happy birthday message to her on the official Find Madeleine campaign Facebook page. In 2023, they said they were still looking. In 2025, they posted again for what would have been her 22nd birthday. The message read in part, "No matter how near or far she is, she continues to be right here with us every day, but especially on her special day. We continue to celebrate her as the very beautiful and unique person she is. We miss her." During testimony for the trial against Julia Wandelt and Karen Sprague, Jerry reiterated that they hadn't yet lost hope of seeing their daughter again, noting that there's no evidence to say she's dead. He said, "We really hope and we know it's only a glimmer that Madeleine is alive."
Ultimately, we're a mum and dad and she's our daughter.